Sometimes we chalk up utility bills as one of those monthly costs that we don't have control over. In the next few minutes, we're going to smash that expensive notion and make a plan for you to save money on your utilities. It's hard sometimes because there's not an identifiable transaction every time we use the electricity. We don't see the cost with every use. And it's different from other ways we spend money. When we're shopping, we can put something back if the total's too high, or we can choose to return items later. Once energy is used, on the other hand, there's no going back. We'll be billed for the use.
Do you know how much your utility bills actually are each month? Do you pay attention? Because utility bills feel like they're out of our hands and many people pay them blindly without a second thought.
The truth is there are quite a few changes you can make to your habits and your home that will save you money. There are even some great programs that savvy energy users can take advantage of to decrease their costs even more.
We're Mike and Stephanie. We blog over at sixfiguresunder.com where we share frugal inspiration and financial motivation to help families get out of debt and reach their financial goals. We're on day 9 of the Frugal Fresh Start Challenge. If you're joining us partway through, we have a link to the whole playlist and your free Frugal Fresh Start workbook down below in the video description.
Okay, are you ready to take matters into your own hands and save money on utilities? I'm constantly surprised when I see people leaving all the lights on in their house, or leaving the TV on when they aren't even in their room, or leaving the water in the kitchen sink running while they rummage through the fridge. If you didn't grow up in a home with energy-conscious parents, then you probably have some long-held habits that are increasing your bills.
The first step to tackling utility bills is being more conscious of our usage. It really takes a change of mindset and a habit to be more aware. We can start with the low-hanging fruit, the things you always hear about. When you're using the power to heat, cool, light, or entertain some part of the house where there's nobody there to enjoy it. But make it a point to notice the following so you can build new habits and help your family build new habits too, to avoid these common household situations that waste your energy and your money.
Let's start with the one most people think of. Turn off the lights when you leave the room. It's true that a single bulb doesn't take much power, but lighting in total makes up almost 9% of a total home's electricity use. If half of the lights are on in your house when no one's in the room, you could save up to 4% of your energy bill each month just by shutting them off.
And the same goes for your TV. Most modern LCD TVs are pretty energy efficient, but the 55-inch LCD at our house still pulls 170 watts. So if your TV is on all day, that's like leaving 3 old-school incandescent bulbs turned on all day long. Cut that in half or more and you'll save a few more dollars. Now, it's not a lot of dollars, but as you do this across more power-consuming appliances, these numbers will add up. So pay attention to how many hours your TV is on over the next few days, and then start making it a habit to turn off the TV if you aren't watching it.
What about when you leave the house? You may be in and out of rooms in your house all day, so it will take some habit building to remember to turn things off when you leave the room. But you're probably leaving the house altogether just a few times. Go quickly around the house and make sure things are turned off before you leave. It might help to put a reminder note on the front door to help you remember until you get in the habit. Make sure you turn off lights, fans, TV, music, and computers when you leave the house.
How about when you're asleep? Why have a light or screen on if your eyes are closed? Make sure everything is turned off before you head to bed. Of course, your actual savings will depend on how energy conscious you already are. But on average, being super careful about lights and screens can save you almost 10% of your electricity bill. If you're currently a little lazy about it, tighten up your turn-off habits and save both energy and money.
But those are really small things. The biggest energy users in your house are things with a heating element or a cooling element. Your clothes dryer is among the worst offenders. Dry your clothes on a clothesline if you can. Harness the power of the sun to dry your clothes instead in the summer. It's even faster than the dryer and will naturally whiten your clothes too.
Regularly change your HVAC air filters. This is one of those little things you might hear a lot but never really seems like a big deal. Well, it's a big deal. That's worth talking about for a minute. So an HVAC system is basically a recirculating pump. It heats or cools air and pushes it out into the house through supply vents. That's the warm or cool air you feel coming out when you turn on the heat or the AC. But your house is already full of air. There has to be some way to get the existing air out of your house so that there's room for the warmed or cooled air to come in. That's what your air return vent is for. Air flows from the house through the return vent up into the system, and it's heated or cooled inside the system, and then pushed back out into the house again through the supply vents, where it heats or cools you. Now, if the coil inside your HVAC system gets dirty, it gets really inefficient. So to keep it clean, there's a filter at the air return vent, and that catches most of the dust and debris from the air in your house. As the filter catches the dust, though, it gets harder and harder for the air to get through. If your system can't get its air from the house, it can't push air into the house either. The whole system has to work harder and harder for less and less result. One really dirty filter can handicap your entire HVAC system, keeping it running longer, using more power, for the same amount of warming or cooling, and wearing it out a lot faster, which means you have to maintain and repair it more. So change your filter regularly. Spending $2 each month on an inexpensive filter is a much better deal than running your heat or the AC twice as long to get the same result, and wearing your system out early.
And get a programmable thermostat. Put your heating and cooling on autopilot so you're not heating or cooling the house when you're not there, or heating it less while you're in bed under the blanket. For as little as $20, the EPA estimates that an average household could save up to 33% off their energy bill if they use it as directed.
And while we're on heating and cooling, prevent air leaks. According to energy.gov, if you put all the air leaks in an average house together, it'd be about the same as leaving a 2x2 foot window open all year long. So imagine that big hole in your wall and let the air coming in. That's it. Install some foam caulking or weather stripping around doorways. Insulate around where pipes enter the house. If new windows aren't in the budget, you can use window insulator kits to do a great job. There are all sorts of things you can do just to close the gaps up and keep the air inside.
Open and close your windows and shades. In the winter, take advantage of the warm sun shining through your windows. On cool summer nights, open your windows to cool down your house. Get in the habit of using natural heating and cooling methods instead of turning on the air or the heat.
And dress appropriately. Our secret to keeping heating bills low is to dress for the weather and wait as long as possible to turn on the heat. When we do turn on the heat, we keep the thermostat low and wear long sleeves, maybe a coat even. In the summer, we do the reverse.
Prepare your home for vacations. Before going out of town, turn your water heater down. Adjust your thermostat so that your heating and cooling won't need to work while you're gone. Unplug appliances since they suck power even when they're not on.
Replace incandescent bulbs with LEDs. I honestly like the warm light of incandescent bulbs best, but incandescent technology uses a lot more energy than LED bulbs. That's why the packages for LEDs say crazy things like 7 watts, 60 watt equivalent. They really do put out as much light as a 60 watt bulb. Now LEDs can cost more up front, but use much less energy because they don't emit heat, and they also last many times longer than incandescent bulbs. Just know that some LEDs work well in fixtures made for incandescent bulbs and some don't. Some have problems with dimmers as well. The surest way to get good LED light is to purchase an LED-specific fixture. We've replaced all of our bulbs and many of our fixtures and fans. It's really not that expensive.
Clean out the dryer lint after each load. This filter is just like the return filter in your HVAC system. Your clothes will dry faster and you'll save on energy use when the lint trap is clean and your dryer can run efficiently.
You might want to conduct a home energy audit. There are professionals that offer this service using specialized equipment, but you can do a DIY home energy audit and find some areas where you can improve.
On top of having lower energy bills for using less gas or electricity, there are some incentive programs that will help encourage you by reducing your energy costs when you are a smarter consumer or by putting money back in your pocket.
When we were in law school, our electric company had a money-saving program where we could choose to have our electric bill calculated at a varying hourly rate, expensive in peak hours and lower in non-peak hours, instead of the daily flat rate. And I think most utilities have that. By changing our energy usage habits, we saved a lot of money on our electric bill. Each night the rates were published online for the next day. We'd avoid running the air conditioner, doing laundry, or other high-energy activities during the peak hours when rates were the highest. Making changes to our energy habits was definitely worth the savings. We had to opt into the program for a year since they invested some startup costs like installing a new hourly meter at our house. Each month our bill would show what we would have paid at the regular flat hourly rate versus the variable hourly rate we got by being in the program. The only regret we had is that we didn't learn about this program sooner.
Our current electric company also has different rates for peak times versus off-peak times. We pay more per kilowatt hour during the hours from 3 to 8 on weekdays. In the summer, the difference in price between the peak hours and off-peak hours is huge.
Like a couple of times different.
In the winter, the rates aren't really that different. By being smart with our energy usage, like not running appliances like the dishwasher and dryer and the air conditioner between 3 and 8 on weekdays, we save a lot of money. See if your electric company has a program for keeping your usage down at peak hours, or a program where the rate varies by the time of the day.
If your house or major appliances are not energy efficient, many utility companies and even government offices offer incentives to upgrade your appliances or make energy efficient home improvements. In fact, sometimes the expense of upgrading is covered entirely. The Office of Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy has a list of incentive programs available in each state. You can also check the database of state incentives for renewables and efficiency. We'll put links down in the description below.
Ohm Connect is a free program that rewards you for reducing your electricity usage during certain hours called Ohm Hours. It's available in California, Texas, and a few other places. About once or twice a week, we get a text or email to let us know that the following day there will be an Ohm Hour at a specific time, usually just 1 hour, but occasionally it'll be 2 consecutive hours. For each Ohm Hour, you'll be given a forecast of the amount of energy that the power company expects you to use. You win the Ohm Hour when you use less than the forecast. The amount of your reward depends on how much less than your forecast your actual usage was. We usually earn $30 to $50 a month participating in Ohm Hours, about 2 Ohm Hours per week, and less in the winter.
If you want to learn more about that program, we have a video you can check out. We'll put a link below. If you're somewhere else, try having your own family challenge. Take a look at your bill and what your family's average usage is, and then set a goal for how much you want to reduce your electricity usage. Set up a reward that gets your family excited. You might tell your kids that if they can help reduce the bill by a certain amount of money, they'll take half of that money and put it toward a fun family activity. Bowling, an ice cream party, pizza, whatever. Each month you can heighten the challenge and see how much you can save. Not only will you save electricity and money, you also create good habits and have some fun too.
Have you checked out your utility company's website for anything more than just paying your bill? Most companies have resources available for you to monitor your usage. On ours, we can see a graph of our usage in kilowatt hours and a graph on our usage in dollars. It can be broken down by the day or by the hour. We like to check it a few times a month. We're able to see an estimate of what the upcoming bill will be. It's nice to have some warning before we get a high bill because it gives us time to adjust our usage before it's too late. If you're not already using your company's online resources, go check it out. Pay attention to the amount due on your bill so you can see how your energy saving efforts are paying off.
Okay, it's time for your Day 9 challenge. Get out your workbook and make your own plan. What can you do to reduce your utility usage at your house? Resolve to make a few changes and see how they impact your bill. Be sure to enlist your family's help in reducing your usage.
You can do this. We'll see you tomorrow for Day 10.